Right. Hello. Morning. How are yous, everyone? Hope everyone's been well. I know I've been away. Sorry about that. But important thing is I'm back. How's everyone been? How's your weekend been? More importantly, did you guys do anything interesting? Have any fun? You guys been locked in? Can you guys hear me? Everything fine? Just let me know, please. Just need to make sure the stream is working fine. Can you guys hear me fine? Testing. Is the stream lagging or anything? Is anything wrong? let me know in the chat, guys. Morning. Yes, we can. I'm good. No name trader C9K. That's it's a familiar name. Seeing. Right. Shall we just get right into it then? Yeah, let's just jump right into it. Let's not waste any time then. Fuck it. Right. So I think the last live stream I did was about 2 weeks ago. I was supposed to carry on. I ended up dealing with some internet issues when I was traveling, so I just said fuck it. I'll get back to it when I got back. So yeah. So from now on, I'm just gonna try to do go live every day. I'm here now for December. December is my best month normally, so I do like to lock in for December trading wise. So yeah, I think going live every day is going to be beneficial for everyone. Now, right, if you recall for DXY, what I was looking for is I was looking for price to push up and take out this high, right, which ended up happening. However, we did not sustain the $100 level, right? So this liquidity draw got taken out, right, as I was expecting. However, right, as you can see, we had a clean cut rejection. Okay, what I'm seeing now, if I push on the higher time frame, right, is all price is basically done. It's just SFP this high again, right? The $100 level again is a very important level. Why? It's a psychological round figure, right? So these levels are always very, very important to actually keep an eye on. All right. Anyway, us not pushing the DXY not pushing above that gives me a clear indication that we're either likely just going to range within the $99 to $97 region for now. All right. If we break below that, then we could see price push down into the 97.1 region, right, and come test out this level here, right? Why? Because this was the last zone that took out this low before it took out this high. All right, so this was the sell before the buy that led to those structure breaks. Okay, so this is why it's a very pivotal high time frame point. Okay, if I clear that all out. Now, in terms of the lower time frame, what I'm seeing right now is, if I clean all this up, right, is we have these sort of relative equal lows at $99 region, right? This level, I think price is likely just gonna come take this out. From this level, we can then go wait and see if we see a reversal from that level, right, back above. But again, right now, I prefer to the most high probability scenario would be to look for setups that trade into this liquidity draw, basically, right? These equal lows, if that makes sense. Okay, now on the 1 hour, what I'm seeing now is, right, we had a gap on I think Wednesday, right? This gap filled that gap in, came into a previous POI, right, and then we made a new low, right? In terms of what I'm looking for right now, the most high probable setup or scenario that I want to see to look for look for shorts into this level is a push back into, at least, if you see, I've mapped out the high and the low of this leg, at least a 50% level, right? Because that is the premium level that I would like to look for shorts from into this draw, basically at $98, if that makes sense, right? What you should know why premium, right? Because if you're selling, you want to sell ideally in the premium level. If you want to be buying, you want to be buying in the discount level. Does that make sense? Okay. Now again, we sort of have this. Again, we had this SFP new low, right? Internal. I mean, this is the SFP too, but basically what I'm looking for here, again, I've mentioned this before, is clean consecutive order flow. Okay. And usually want to see it happen 3 times. So we saw it happen once, twice, and I want to see it happen for a 3rd time. Okay. To basically look for price to push into $99, right? Those relative equal lows. Okay, does that make sense? Let me map out a cleaner POI. right? This will technically be the POI. If I go on the higher time frame, it is a bigger POI, but if you refine it a little, it would be into this level. But I don't want to get front run, so I'd rather just keep it down here and then wait for price to actually give us a low time frame confirmation entry to then look for that short. Okay, but for now I want to see it pull back into that level, right? Right, in terms of what we're doing, okay, it is Monday and it is the first the first day of a new month. So again, this is the fresh level, right? We have now, again, Mondays, I don't really like to trade on Mondays. I like to collect as much data as possible. There is one setup I am, if it gives me a trigger, I will look for today. But in terms of today, I just rather collect as much data as we can from the market. And then tomorrow, when I go live again, we'll have a lot more information on how we're going to execute for the remainder of the week. But in terms of now, I want to see how these fresh level prints, basically, okay? In terms of the daily, at least, right? Monthly, this is very important for the monthly. But again, this is all liquidity too. So we could just come up into this level today. Ideally, if we do, I will start looking for shorts, not on the DXY, but on EU, ideally. For that sort of setup, if that makes sense, right? Okay, let me go on economic calendar quickly before I push over. Right, so today is Monday. We have Fed Powell speech at 1 p.m, which I think is going to be quite important. Then 3 p.m, 1 hour into I think New York Open, we have USD PMI news, which is going to be important too. Tuesday we have Euro. A bunch of Euro data. Wednesday, so it's a mixed bag of EU and USD. Thursday we have EU, AUD, and then Friday again mixed bag. So it's going to be a very volatile week this week. So yeah, I'm expecting a lot of opportunities across the board. So that's why I did want to go live extra early today. I don't mind doing a bit of a longer session or just keep it to our normal time. But yeah, so just make sure if you have any questions, ask me, right? Don't be afraid to ask me. I'm here to help. Right, so yeah, we're gonna have a lot of volatility today. So I'm gonna be careful with in terms of New York Open. But if my setup sets up, then I will take it, right? Because I trade price action. I'm not a fundamental trader. But anyways, yeah. So Monday, and then Tuesday EU, and then yeah. So a lot of volatility this week. Yes, it does. Okay, that's fine. Right. So yeah, that's the DXY plan for today at least. Let's push over to Euro USD. Right now, again, from last live stream I did, again, I think you should have remembered I was actually looking for a setup here. I think I highlighted it quite clearly. Right, this was the sort of the setup I was looking for. Right, I think the setup I highlighted was I was looking for a pullback into this level. We end up SFPing the high where we had 1, 2, 3 drives, and then we made a new low. Right, again, when the new low was made, I was looking for price to come back into this level, which it did. And then if you'll see here again, price made another new low, and then this became my new POI, which price pulled back into. Sorry, and then this was actually a star setup. This was absolutely beautiful price action, right? What you have is the high of the low gets taken, the low of the low gets taken. You have three drives of distribution. You get a new low. Price slowly corrects back into that previous structure, that POI, rejects again, makes a clean breaker structure, pushes back into that level. Right, we have an SFP into that POI again, right, and then price fails to hold that daily level where you then have that clear shift in momentum where sellers have finally stepped in. And then as you can see as well in terms of timing, this was pre-New York. So in terms of timing, volume comes into 1, SFP is the high at 115, which is about New York Open. and then we have that expansive push to the downside where you get that retest of the monthly. Very, very clean price action. And I did cover this in the live stream a week and a half ago, and I don't know if anyone caught it, but please let me know if you caught this move, because it was morning mate background music a little too loud. Oh, okay, my bad. Sorry. Yeah, just let me know. I'll put it down. Is that better? Or is it still too loud? I'll put it down. Is that good, guys? All right. Okay. Right. Anyway, yeah, that was very, very clean PA. Now let's just push over to what I'm seeing now on EU. Right. Okay. No, that's good. Seems the same. Okay. Let me put it down more then. Is it better? Trends, let me know, because I don't know what's wrong. Alright, I'll turn it off then. Alright, fuck it. Anyway, so right, we end up holding, this was the previous monthly open. Price ended up holding that level, right? This low was respected. And then price basically is now just pushed back into this key level here, right? Let me get rid of all this shit. Right, okay, so let me map this level out here. Okay, so price hasn't made a new low, okay? But price hasn't made a new high either. This was the level I was looking for reversals from, but I was looking for price to break this low. It didn't, right? Held that monthly open, and then we're basically seeing a rebound push up. Now, the reason I have a POI mapped out here, right, is I was looking for this low here in particular to hold. I'm gonna show you why right now actually. Right, mainly because this was the low that SFP'd that made this new high. Okay, so it's just with all this imbalance, I was looking for price to actually come back into the 50% level, right? Refining it down because of imbalance. This was where I was just looking for longs for actually. Anyway, but in terms of now, what I'm seeing in terms of price action is, if I go back to the DXY, right, we still have that sort of 3 taps, right? 1, 2, 3, right? I want to see sort of one more pullback into that 99.6 level for that consecutive order flow and push into that those relative equal lows at 98. So currently, in terms of what I'm seeing, I don't know why the hell is doing this. Currently, in terms of what I'm looking for, is price to actually pull back into 159 level. EU looking at those equal highs at 165. Where is it? What do you say? 165.62. 165. Right, you're looking for around here, right? Yeah, I think we're gonna see a new high being made, and I think price is gonna make a new high just because of how this held at the previous monthly open at least. I think price is going to likely come out, take out these highs and then that. So in terms of what I'm seeing here is I'm looking for a pullback. Now, the reason I have Fibonacci mapped out here is mainly because this was a SFP. This was a high. Price came back, retraced almost 90% before we're going to push out, before we made a new high again. So these are the 2 Fibonacci targets. I think I mentioned this in a previous live stream that I like to just map out just for mental idea of, other than liquidity draws is what I like to target. I just like to have these levels that I like to watch. All right, first level would be 16342. Second level would be 165. Right, where you mentioned that there are these relative equal highs here, trends, which I'll map out here too, because that is a draw, and then the previous. I think that's the monthly high as well. But yeah, that's sort of what I'm looking at right now. So if I get rid of all this now, let's push down on the lower time. Do you guys have any questions in terms of... Right, so I was actually looking to see if price actually would have pulled back into this level here. Let's map it like this. Mainly because we do have these relative equal lows here. And again, it aligns with my confluence of the DXY. We have 1, 2, and then looking for that third sort of consecutive flow here. So we have 1 and then 2, and then I'm sort of want to see another pullback to then look for longs again, targeting those 3 liquidity draws, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, guys, in terms of why I'm looking for this setup currently on EU? Well, or at least what my thought idea behind it, because I want this to make sense in terms of how I'm looking at the market. And I feel like that's the most helpful way for you guys to just get into the routine. Right, so yeah, there is obviously a POI. These are 2 smaller POIs I can refine, but this is just a general idea of a point of reference that I'm looking for, right? Okay, in terms of where I want to see, mainly because this is the last POI where we before price broke structure, and where there is liquidity resting just above it. So again, when price comes into this level, then I'll watch price delivery closely to see how we react, then to look for potential longs, again in confluent with DXY. Okay, I'm gonna move on, so if you have any questions, please ask me now. But yeah, that's sort of what I'm seeing on EU currently. I think we are going to make a new higher high, just in terms of structure wise, right? Because this failed to make a new low, and I think price is gunning to take out this sort of these highs here, because this is all liquidity here. Let me do it a bit straight lines so it's easier to see. Yeah, any questions from everyone? Okay then. Right, gold. Again, I'm gonna cover the PA from the previous live stream. Again, I was away, so apologies guys, I have missed a week of live streams. I've was traveling and dealt with a whole bunch of shit in the background, and I was having technical issues, but I'm figuring that out. I actually ordered a new camera as well, so I'm getting a new sort of stream setup too, so hopefully that will be good as well. Right, so in terms of last week on gold, I did sort of give this highlighted level where I said I wanted to see. This was the main, I think, monthly open, where I said this was the main key level I was looking for swing longs from, for price to potentially come back and take out this high and then potentially a new all-time high. Right, we did actually end up taking this up. I did share this setup in the Telegram, so if you're in the free Telegram as well, you would have caught this. You should have caught this setup, because I did share it. Price basically came into that level where we took out that low, that high, retested that level, pinpoint, and then basically ended up taking profit at this level. I had 20% remainder of open just for swing. Price ended up coming back down to break even. I missed the re-entry, but this was actually, could have cleanly re-entered, mainly because this would have been a clean POI as well. Why? Because this was the last sell before the buy that took that low, and that broke that external structure too on gold, and it broke a lot of structure. So there's a lot of money sitting at this level. Also, another confluence is there is clean liquidity resting above this POI, so that makes this POI a stronger point of reference, right? Because there's liquidity also sitting near this level, which means it's easier for money managers to hunt this level and collect all that liquidity and fill in their orders at more discounted levels, right? In this scenario, because it's for buyers, to fill their orders before they actually can push price away from that zone, if that makes sense. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that was a clean POI. But yeah, did anyone catch this gold by any chance? So I do want to know if you guys are catching any of these setups that I do share. Anyway, in terms of now, what I'm seeing, right, we've had expansion. Price respected this clean level. I was looking for, anyone in the Telegram will know, I was looking for buys on Black Friday, but it was Thanksgiving, so it was a bank holiday. So that's the only reason I didn't take it. But this level here that's mapped out, this line, is or was the daily open. So what we end up doing is price end up pushing above that level, respecting, and then retesting the daily, and then pushing back above that level, which was a clear indication that price was ready to expand higher to take out this previous month's high. Yeah, okay, no name trader. Yeah, you did. Okay, good. Because this was, the gold buys were very clean, very clean. Anyway, so yeah, that was sort of the idea. Now, in terms of what I'm seeing on gold, again, higher time frame wise, I long Black Friday and the wicks did me so dirty. Oh fuck. What were your trends? Where did you place your stops? Were they too tight? Was it this wick that fucked you? Then you must have had a really tight stop. Thing is, on gold, what I recommend is use wider stops. Gold is such a trust me, I've had it on gold too. It's such a fuckery sometimes. That's why I like to just give it some room. Just let your trade breathe on gold at least, okay? FX pairs and crypto is different, but on gold at least, just give it some room. I re-entered after being stopped at break even at around 416. You entered at 4160. Yeah, 4160 was a clean level. It retested that daily and before it gave that expansion. And look, in terms of probability wise, that previous week low was right there, right? Momentum is on your side. When you have expansive like PA like this, right? It's usually just it's taking internal liquidity, but it's still making new highs, right? It'll take internal liquidity, but it'll still make a new high, okay? And usually you want to see something like this. I think on the mentorship there was a post I made about this in the Discord as well, where I talked about how you want to see, something like this occurring, right? It's same thing as order flow, but in just terms of PA, right? Even if it's like price gets tighter and tighter, that's usually what you like to see before an expansive push. But I don't want to explain that right now because it's gonna take me a fucking hour. But yeah, gold was very clean buys. Now in terms of bro, FTMO had major scam wicks on Friday. Oh fuck, for real? Fucking no. Yeah, it's funny because FTMO owns Awanda, so yeah, they did that shit on purpose. I'm not gonna lie. Like they own Awanda, which is one of the biggest brokers for those that don't know. Awanda is literally one of the biggest brokers. This is Awanda too, and this is a live feed for Awanda, and it doesn't have that wick. So the fact FTMO had that wick, yeah, there's something very fishy. And I'm telling you, there was a lot of traders on their books that were long that day, right? And they basically had to say fuck it, it's Black Friday, and then they gave themselves a bunch of money. That's what they did, because that's the only thing that explains it. If it was just on FTMO, because this makes no sense. This is Awanda live feed. And yeah, FTMO owns that. So anyway, yeah, so in terms of now, what I want to see is, I don't want to get long right now, mainly because it's already taken that high, and we've had a sweep of liquidity, right? You don't want to enter blindly long after a liquidity sweep is taken, right? Mainly because price is going to do likely what after a liquidity point is taken, it's likely going to pull back, right? So what I'm ideally want to be looking for at least in terms of this, right, this level to this high, is I just want to see price at least come back into this range discount level, right? I want to see price at least come back into this level. Ideally, if it happens faster, the better. And then I want to see basically price just hold this level here, right? Because this was an important previous level, that price rejected off too. So it's just previous resistance turned demand. I want to see this level hold for me to be then looking for longs into targeting 4,300 and then eventually targeting a new all-time high. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, you shouldn't want to be long now. You want to wait for those sort of pullbacks, okay, into your main POI levels. Again, this is a main level I like for gold, is around 41.92. Again, I'm gonna wait until see how New York session develops, and then that will give me a better idea of, again, this is why I like to wait Monday out, just because if going into the week I don't have a clear enough bias, or my bias is a bit flip-flopping, which can happen sometimes, that there's too much like data in your head, so you can get clogged up sometimes. Sometimes it's better to just wait and let price tell you what it wants to do. Okay, so anyway, in terms of now, I'd rather just wait to see if price gives us a pullback into 41.92. If it gives that pullback, you'd ideally want to look for lower time frame reversals from this level to look for a rotation back into 4,300 and then new all-time highs. Is there any question about that on gold, guys? I don't want to see price break below 145. If we are bullish now and we are to take the all-time highs, which I believe we will see new all-time highs, but if we are to see this, we should not break below 4140. If we do, we're likely going to see price rotate back into 4,000 region. Okay, it's just a rotation of the other side of the range, right? Does that make sense? Or do you have any questions before I push over? Okay, all clear. Okay, good. Right, now let's push into BTC. Right, did actually catch a push on BTC. I did share this actually on my Instagram as well with members. I did actually say on Instagram, no, what's wrong, no name trader? Is there any question? Just let me know. Okay, cool. And I'm just gonna quickly go over previous PA. Right. This is drawings from this is drawings from the last live stream. The only reason I left it up just because I wanted to recall that. Again, I recommend you guys, if you don't remember, go back, watch those live streams. Anyway, what I was looking for, price to come back into the 93k level. And then again, if that level held, we would have seen price push down lower. What I was ideally looking to see if these lows held, right, which I shared here. Again, level failed to hold, and then we saw 88k, and then what ended up happening was, let me get rid of all this shit. Right, what ended up happening is this gray level here is previous value, right? This is this range, this consolidation's value, right? The value area high, value area low. So what price ended up doing, right, is price accepted that new value, right, retested it, and then rotated to the other side of the range, right, SFP'd that value area low, right, and then what do we see? Acceptance back in that value, and then rotation to the other side, right? This is basically what I was seeing last week, okay? And then the reason I actually got bullish here, anyone in the mentorship will know, is we basically had an SFP of this low, and then price made a new high. Right, I've talked about this before, where you basically see a neutralization of both sides of the range, and then what ended up happening after that is we have slow momentum, right? So this was the new POI. I think ETH was a lot cleaner on this. I actually did take a long on ETH. About this mainly because the ETH offered another SFP, which I'll share shortly. But what you'll see is after price took out that low, then that high, you just had that sort of slow momentum. Price broke back above. Again, this is all value, right? It broke above previous value area high, and then that's where we saw that rotation back into previous value, right? Where again, I was looking for short. So what I end up doing is anyone in the team will know, is I end up taking a short from around here, right? This was a key level. I think it was late. Took them short around this level, and then end up closing, taking partial at this level, mainly because this was a daily open, and then I did mention if price fails to break that level, right, and we'll just likely bounce back to break even. That's why I took partials here, and it's a good thing I did, because price just sort of did this, right? So in terms of what's happened now, right, so to see this range that I've mapped out here, this range's value, okay? So the reason I've mapped it out, and this is why value is important to map out value area lows and value area highs of consolidation zones as well. But this is one of the reasons I took I re-entered my shorts again. Again, Sunday is anyone, especially students, will know that the reason I like trading Sunday switchovers, only for crypto this is, by the way, is because when you have that weekly candle closure on Sunday, you have that big surge of volume, right? Which is what we saw here, and what we end up seeing was, again, the high taken and then the low taken. You have a breaker structure, and then you have another breaker structure. Again, you could say this is a BOS, but the reason I wasn't looking at this as a SFP was mainly because we were having slow price creep up, right? Again, corrective structure, right? You want to see price slowly come back into a main fast move, right, into that POI before you see another fast move, as you see here. And then obviously another confluence which I'm going to cover shortly is the internal POI. But my POI was 91. Again, why? Because this is where the main fast move occurred, right? The main buy before the sell that led to that breaker structure. Internally too, you have this sort of clean order flow as well. If you can see here, so you have this clean, very consecutive order flow, right? You can see price making lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Even here, I end up getting another aggressive entry on my other accounts, mainly because of how clean this order flow was. So I knew that price was likely going to step back in around this time. Again, this was that 11 p.m. Time where markets are opening, and you're getting that weekly candle closure on crypto, so that volume's about to enter into the market again. And basically where I was looking to target, if I go on the hourly, you'll see that I was basically looking to target these lows here, right? It was just all a bunch of liquidity. Again, anyone in the team can vouch that we caught this move. It's on Instagram too, I shared it on my stories. Does that make sense why I took this out? Guys, ask me, don't be afraid to ask me questions, because it helps me know if there's anything you guys want me to, any zones you like. But anyway, yeah, this was where I was looking for those lows. It actually got triggered. In terms of now, I just want to see, do you guys understand why I took this out? I'm going to leave this here because I haven't journaled this setup actually. I need to. So I'm just going to have to leave this here for now. Again, journaling is very, very important, guys. Record all your data. It helps you refine your process, and it helps you make your business, which is trading, a lot more lucrative, a lot more profitable. And once you understand your numbers, guys, as well, it is so much beneficial in terms of even like passing like props, challenges, all of that. Understand your data is very, very vital. Oh, I took it. Oh, okay. Right, perfect. Right. So in terms of what I'm seeing now. Okay, in terms of what I'm seeing now is, I like this zone, okay? So mainly because this was the SFP zone, right, that took that low, that led to that breaker structure, that led to that external high, that basically expansive push. But the thing is that we've had a very fast push down, okay? So from a higher time frame point, right, price should make a new low, right? Just from a high time frame point. Mainly because what is price doing, right? It made it a new lower low, made a lower high. Now after a lower high, what you have? You have a new lower low, right? Being taken. Now I don't think that's gonna happen, mainly because, well, it could actually, but I just don't think it's gonna happen yet. Mainly because there's a lot of money sitting at these levels. I think we're likely gonna see a bounce before that happens. But again, I'm going to wait to see how Monday actually plays out. But I do like this level right now, mainly because we do have all this imbalance here as well. And I want to see how this level actually fares. Okay, if this level holds, then we could see a push back in. I don't want to trade against the trend, so I'm not actively looking for longs on BTC. But I do want to see how this level holds in particular. My next level that I'm interested in is actually here. 12 hour. It's this level here. It's this MPOC, the point of control. Let me change that. Okay, I think price will likely come into 84k. I'd rather see one of these two levels hit, ideally, before looking to see if price holds to then look for longs. All right, It's just, I'm just rather trade with the momentum, guys, because when you have fast momentum like this, it's not worth trading against it. Okay, you rather trade with it. So in terms of that, I just want to see price come into one of these two levels and then give me a reason to actually go long, if it is to go long. And then from there, I could see whether we can actually, once this imbalance is filled, then I can start looking to see if we can get short again, potentially, right? Does that make sense? So in terms of, there's not as a clean setup, just because we took this setup last night, I'm not forcing anything. I'd rather wait. And again, I'm going to go live tomorrow too, so I'll update then too. Let me just leave that drawing here, so I remember. Right, ETH, I'll go over. Any questions, guys? Right, ETH, right. ETH. Okay, again, this was sort of, let me go back here, start new. Right, so I did, this was all the PA from the last live stream. I did end up taking this long, mainly because this was the range low, right? And that broke structure and then it made a new range high. I was looking at this POI too, but what price ended up doing is it ended up taking that internal low, SFP'd, and then price I think broke above value, right? Because this is high, break above value and then retested it. So then once it did that, I look for a quick move into this key level here. You guys should already know. I think I covered this in the previous live stream, but you guys should know why I like this POI in particular. Right, you have a SFP of the high before a new low is made, and this is also a value area high. The high probable zone I was actually looking for was this, to look for shorts back into this level. End up missing them again. Thank you, by the way, for your effort. No worries, man, no worries. I want to help you guys as much as I can. That's why I put the time in. Yeah, so this is why I wanted to actually look. I end up missing it again, guys. Look, I'll be honest, I have 3 other businesses I manage outside of trading, so my time gets pretty fucking, like, it gets really stressful sometimes, and I'm not always on the charts. So I do miss clean setups, and that's against my system. So what I try to do is I have like months where I perform the best. Like for example, December, where even though my other businesses are quite like busy, but I have like staff that manage a lot of the smaller things. So then I can like put a lot more attention into trading during these months, just because I know I can outperform quite nicely during these months. But anyway, I missed these sales. Ended up taking this buy, which I think I took an L on that price. This was low risk, but still I think I took 0.5 R L on that, and then price sort of just expanded lower, right? And then let's go over the 1 hour. Right, you'll see I mapped out this region mainly because this was the buy before the sell that broke all that external liquidity. And then let's just fast forward. You'll see that this $2,600 level is a level I mapped out. I don't know if it was the last stream or it was a stream before that, but I said this on high time frame wise. This is the level you want to be buying. This is the level you want to be buying at $2,700. The main reason was this was, again, look, I'm mapping out my POIs the same. I'm looking at where liquidity is getting taken before the other side of the range is getting taken, and look how much of a move, how much price expanded from there. Okay. Right. Let me, if I map out like this, that's about 100% move, right? So there's hundreds of billions of dollars, right, sitting at this level. So even when you have levels like this, like there was a strategy that I used to have as well, where I'd blindly set a limit there, right, and I take orders from levels like these, mainly because I knew that worst case scenario price will, or at least offer a bounce, and then I can partial my way out however price offers it. But anyway, in terms of what I'm seeing now, right, price respected Actually, let me go over last week's PA quickly. What businesses do you own? I own retail businesses like actual stores basically, like shops basically. Right, where was it? Okay, so yeah, the structure was pretty much similar on BTC. Price took out the low, then took out the high, and then the reason I like this setup, it was very fucking clean. You can see here again, right? Price takes out the low and then takes out external high too. So this is why I had this POI mapped out here, right? Does that make sense? Right, then what does price do again? SFPs the low into this POI, into that POI, mitigates that level, right? Before taking out that, end up taking out this high. I did actually share this, I share this analysis with the mentorship students. So no name, you should have seen this. But again, what I was looking for is 50% level of this level. I think price was around here, somewhere like this. Right, price broke structure, took the low, took the high internally, and then I was waiting for price to actually pull back 50% of this level. It would have been here actually, but I think when I was looking at price live, it was around here. Anyway, ended up taking this long first target, this high. Second target was this extended move here. I think it was, again, using Fibonacci's as I normally like to do. This is how I like to really map out my levels. But yeah, you could see the second entry, which I end up taking, was here. Again, price basically broke structure again. And then what do we have here, right? This is the now POI, because this is a bit messy, so I'm going to clear all this shit up now. This would have been the new POI. Why? Because this was the last sell into that buy, right? That led to that breaker structure here. Does that make sense? Like, no, it didn't break structure actually. Yeah, I remember now. This didn't break structure. Yeah, I remember. This didn't break structure, but I still like this POI, mainly because of how slow momentum was coming into it. It did break external structure, but so I was being a bit cautious. I wanted to wait until price broke above this level. The reason I took it from this level, again, I was waiting for more confirmations, I remember now, because price failed to break that high, right? So price pushed up, it broke internal structure, but then we sort of had that slow momentum into that level, right? And then the reason it was this level, I think, is because this was the daily, if I remember. Yeah, I remember now. This was the daily open, and then once price sort of retested this previous structure, right, and then broke back above it, gave me another retest, and then that's when that expansive push came out, and then that's basically where I was looking for price to actually come out into my high time frame POI, which was actually this level here. The reason I TP'd here was 3,000 level, was mainly because this was the previous value area low, if you remember, right? Also, this is technically a POI, and this is also a POI too, right? Because these are the last zones that led to the external breaker structure. Again, this is the last one that led to that external breaker structure. I would say that liquidity, yeah, basically that is liquidity. But normally when you have, the reason this was a bit weird is because normally when you see the low taken, you want to see the external high taken too. But yeah, this was basically waiting for that liquidity to get taken. Yeah, you are right about that. But the reason I just waited a little more was I just wanted to see that daily level get flipped, and then because then we understand, all right, clearly probability is clearly in our favor. And I remember this was about 4-5 p.m. UK time where I took that trade, but I did take this with size because this was a very clean probable setup after that daily level was flipped. Remember, daily levels, weekly levels, and yearly levels are very important, because when you use them as confluent, they help you understand the probability of a move very clearer. And then you can see that, look, as soon as that daily was flipped, volume came straight into the market. It was literally one of my quickest trades this year. Very quick. Right. What are we seeing now? Right, so similar, didn't catch the short on ETH because BTC, but basically similar scenario, right? This is the zone I'm looking at, right? Again, the sell before the buy, that basically took all that internal structure. I want to see price hold here. Ideally want to see price hold it. This is all imbalance, okay? Imbalance here. All right, this is all imbalance. I want to see price basically just range. I'd rather ideally range, but if we push fast into this level, right, we could, I wouldn't be interested in shorts unless we came above the 2,900 level. Again, ideally, somewhere like here is where I'd ideally we want to be interested in shorts for. Again, I'm not really ideally interested yet. I want to see how PA develops today, just to have a better idea. I'm not looking to trigger anything today. The only setup is obviously EU. I think that's a higher probability setup for me. But in just terms of ETH, I'd rather just let price show me what it wants to do first. But if we just sort of range here, if we end up price pulling down, then the next level I want to be looking for is basically where this MPOC is I want to see a rotation back into this sort of value area low, and then want to see price hold, and then give me or show me that it's ready to actually see a rotation back into that level. If not, then we're likely just going to see price take out this low again, because I think price could likely just accumulate within that bigger POI level I have mapped out, right? In that level. Does that make sense? Just let me know if that makes sense. I don't want to be yapping too much. I'm not gonna lie, I've not had coffee this morning, so my brain's a bit foggy as well. So apologies if I mumble a bit. Will you share? Yeah. If it sets up, I'll share it. No worries about that. Now, shall I cover Solana? Do you want me to cover Solana? Or shall I just leave it here then? Let me know. If not, I'll just end it here then. Do you guys have any questions for me before I head off? Again, in terms of now, I'm like, London looks a bit. I'm not looking to execute London. All right, it doesn't look like there's anything setting up. New York is likely where I'm going to be looking for this setup if it sets up. We do have that power news as well. We do have that power news coming in. We do have that power news coming in at about 1 p.m. So New York open. If you look at, let me see Asian range quickly. Right, yeah, this is Asia range low too. So this is, I really like this setup. I really do. If we see that push in, I'm gonna wanna look to take this either from this low, or I'll wait till I refine my entry after confirmation, and then I'm again looking to target one of these two levels basically. Yeah, I wanna see that sort of order flow, right? Low taken, new high made, new low held, new high made, and then want to see a retest, low hold, and then a new high made. Right, I want to see consecutive order flow. Yes, please cover Solana. Okay. So shit. But I've had good and bad experiences with fucking coin. I'll be honest with you. I think I'm actually with a YouTube video. I was in Portugal the time, and I fumbled buying Solana. Where was it? 23? I think it was around. Yeah, it was around here. It's the reason why I have a love and hate relationship with this coin. Had buy order limits set. Where was it? I think it was around here. Had buy limit orders set at around this low, around the $17 level. I just wanted the price to come back into like this level here. Anyway, end up holding this low, and then I just got front run. I think it was this setup. Anyway, yeah, I need to say I missed out on a 10x, which would have been, I don't even want to say how much money, but you know, look, that's trading. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. The important part is that you're constantly just journaling, you're tracking, and you're understanding why you're missing opportunities if you are, and how you can make sure you don't, that doesn't happen again. And the most important thing I'd say is that you're constantly putting yourself in opportunities to get lucky. I think that's definitely one of the most important things I've learned as a trader and investor. Right, so Solana, I think this is my other chart. I think I covered Solana a bit deep, you know. Right, right, I did, I was looking for like a potential power of 3, like accumulation, manipulation, expansion sort of idea, but as you can see, that is not at all what happened here. Right, price is just basically sort of took out this internal liquidity here, took out internal liquidity here, and then basically made a breaker structure. Okay, let me get rid of all this shit. 1 second. Right, and the main zone I was interested in looking at holding was this POI. Now, mainly because again, this was the last buy before the sell that took out this equal highs that led to that breaker structure, and then what we basically had was sort of a corrective price action into this level, where this level held at a breaker structure, and then again this was the setup you would have seen that we took on BTC, where price broke internal structure, right, retested that key level. It didn't give it SFP though, but before expansion lower. Now SOL is definitely a lot weaker right now. I think we're likely just gonna come take out to 121, but again, I rather want to see a retest of that monthly open. Again, I'm not interested in taking shorts here, because why the fuck would you short here? Even if price is so close to draw, I don't see the point, and there's all this imbalance here. So price has intent to push higher, and it can very clearly just do that and then come up that too. So I'd rather wait until this liquidity draw is taken, then I can start be interested in shorts, and I'd rather wait until at least the monthly is retested, right, to be interested in shorts basically. Whichever happens first, that's sort of what I'll look for. Again, if this happens now, I'd want to see this draw not taken, right? I don't want to see this low, like this low taken. Okay, I'd rather see, in terms of what we're seeing, I'd rather just see a quick pullback, and then I want to see this monthly level hold basically, and then this imbalance get filled obviously, and then I'd be interested in shorts again, right? So we already captured a part of this move on BTC, but now this is what I'm seeing, right? Fast move, slow retracement, another faster move, and then again, if we break 121, then that's where we need to see what price does after that. If we hold, we'll see a rotation back into range, or if we just continue selling down lower, right? Because this POI is quite big here on SOL. Let me map it on green actually, because it is a clean pivotal level, right? But the reason this level is important on SOL, because this is all liquidity, right? Took the low, but it didn't break the high, right? So it failed to make a new high on SOL. I lost so much money just by holding other projects. Yeah, no, missed my first bull run. Thought we were gonna see this year heavy bull run, but it's just been so bad. I know. Trust me, I know. I do think we are gonna see a run. I think now what we're gonna likely see is price sort of rotate back to BTC lows, right? And then when people sort of become less and less optimistic about the market, I think that's when we see a rally on BTC, right? I still think we will make new highs, and I think that's when we'll see a alts actually outperform. Again, that is me remaining optimistic for my bags too. All right, don't feel too bad. Right. Yeah, so SOL seems pretty clear for me in terms of what I'm looking for currently. Is there any question you guys have? I want to see 121 not taken. I'd rather see a pullback into 133, and then I look for shorts. Right after imbalance is filled, basically the draw is that low of 121. Right, guys, any questions? I feel like I covered everything today. It is 9, so we are in London session. We have little volume, but it's Monday, so rather it's first day of the month. So rather just wait and see what the market does today, and then we'll see what happens. So yeah, Do you guys enjoy this live stream? If you guys have any like recommendations for me, we did I think we did an hour stream today, which was good. I want to take my time today. Tomorrow I'll try to do a little quicker. I don't know if you guys have work or you guys got somewhere to be. Just let me know in terms of timings. What do you guys prefer? Just so tomorrow, if tomorrow you guys prefer, I could do New York as well. Yeah, just let me know. No worries, trends. No question, enjoy. All right, no worries. I'll see you guys later then. Have a amazing day, guys. Bye bye.